is Hawaiian comfort food Shoyu Chicken, and we're gonna show you how to do it. And it's insanely easy actually. It is truly one of those things you can make on a Wednesday afternoon in an hour and you are ready to go. First we start with our liquids, and I've made a few twists after I watched Hawaiian Land Food, I think it was called, the channel, I can't remember, but they made some twists to the traditional, because traditionally you have a lot of soy sauce and then you have water and brown sugar. But instead we are going to go in with a liter of chicken stock straight into our pot, because that will elevate the flavors more than the water. In case we don't have enough liquid at the end for the chicken, then we can add a bit of water. Then I have half a liter of good soy sauce. And again, in the traditional recipe, it calls for brown sugar. But I'm not a big fan of making it too sweet. So instead of the brown sugar, I'm using 250 milliliter or 1 cup of ketchup manis, which is a soy paste, which is kind of sweet a little bit. Yeah, exactly.
That adds the sweetness on its
exactly.
own. Yeah.
That adds a little bit of sweetness, but not so much that it's...
yeah, we're not very fond of sweet food.
Well, this needs to have a little bit of sweetness to it, but
a small kick
you
there.
don't want to overdo it. That's sort of the thing. And 100 milliliter of rice vinegar. If you don't have rice vinegar, then you can use a white wine vinegar or sherry vinegar, whatever you have, but the original one is actually rice vinegar. That gives a hint of sweet and sour.
So that has an Asian influence in Hawaii.
Yes, absolutely,
Okay.
absolutely. And then we're gonna add a little bit of our dried habanero flakes for some heat.
Just a little bit, because this is powerful.
This is super spicy, but
I don't
so
know
flavorful.
how you smell it.
So we're going in with, let's say, half a teaspoon. It's more than enough of this. It's very spicy. Ooh, tickled my nose there already.
I know, that's why I say, how can you smell this shit?
And then for our aromatics, we have very simple spring onion, garlic, and ginger. And the garlic, we're just gonna press it in. You could, if you wanna strain the sauce later, then you could go in with this and just smash them and put them in whole and then strain it. But I don't want to strain the sauce. I like to have some texture. The same with the green onion. We're going to leave the
Yeah, why would
pieces.
you remove it? I mean,
Yeah, exactly. It's also my opinion. So,
Yeah, exactly.
so no, we leave it in. 3 cloves of garlic. You can put how much you want, of course. That's your prerogative. But I think 3 cloves is enough for this batch. Then we go in with ginger. I have a big knob of ginger, twice my thumb, dial it up and down. And this we're gonna chop finely, because I want to leave the ginger pieces in, as said. So slice it up, and then we're gonna dice it. And when we have a relatively fine mince on this, we're gonna add all of that to our pot. It's important here to keep the liquid cold. You don't want to start it to warm up before we have added the chicken. So, green onion. These are a little bit too big for my taste, but that's what they had at the grocery market, so I have to live with it. I want to have some of the white end in sort of rounds like this. And one wanted to escape. I don't want too many, but I want some. In they go. And then from the green end, just gonna clean them up here at the end, and then I'm going to make some, let's say, maybe 2 centimeters, maybe 1 inch long pieces like this, that we're going to add whole, so we get like a textured sauce at the end. We have chosen to go with quartered chicken, so we have the drumstick. I probably think traditionally you would only use the chicken thighs, but we are taking the whole quartered chicken here, and we nestle that in nicely. I think it will work fine with the liquid. How much was here? 5 pieces, around 2 kilos?
yes.
I think, yeah, around 2 kilos. Down like this, and it's fine that they peep a little bit through. They don't have to be fully submerged. We are gonna flip them halfway through. Now we're gonna start this on high heat to bring it to a boil. And immediately when it comes to a boil, we're going to switch it to a very, very low simmer, because we only want it to simmer and braise very slowly. But first up to a boil, then down again. And when we reach a boil, immediately we take it down to medium-low, so it just simmers like a little bit, bloop, 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 right? That's what you want. We close it up, and then we let it go here, probably 15 minutes, then we will flip them over, and we'll probably also skim the top of them if we have some of the dirt coming out of the chicken, but we'll see, 10-15 minutes, we'll see you again. We've been going about 15 minutes, so let's have a look and see how we're doing. And it's looking good, and it smells fantastic already. But look, slow simmer, that's what we want. Now we want to give these a flip. So, I look at the color they have taken here. That is just beautiful, beautiful. I mean, you could marinate it overnight if you want to, but it's really not necessary. There they are, all flipped over, beautiful color. We're gonna close these up, and now we're gonna let them go until we register 80 degrees internal temperature about. That will be another 15, maybe 20 minutes. Another 20 minutes in, and let's see where we are. We're gonna see if we reach temperature. Let's see where we are. 81. 81, perfect. That's exactly where I wanted. So now, and here's one of the tricks. We switch it off, and then we put the lid, and now we let it sweat here for half an hour, because if you take meat out of a braising liquid immediately, then all the juices will run out of the meat and it will get dry and boring. A good half-hour rest, and now they're ready to come out. Have an oven pot here, because we are going to take them out and then we're going to put them under the broiler for a bit to give them a little bit of extra goodness. But be careful here, because these are super tender. So they will fall apart if you're not careful. So lie them down nicely here. And they're looking good. Look at the color they got. But now we want to crispen up the skin a little bit, because that's just boiled and that's not very charming, actually.
Ooh, but it does smell good.
It does smell good, yeah, I told you it does. Well, it's obviously Asian inspired, but it is a Hawaiian dish, so that looks good. Now I'm going to stuff this under the broiler. That's already pre-warmed, and we let it crispen up while we finish our sauce. So, back, and now we want to bring this to a full roaring boil, so we can thicken it up with some cornstarch in a slurry. Not sure that's traditional, actually. Traditionally, I think it's just served like this, and that's at least the research I could do. But I
like our sauce a little bit more thick.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But for a cornstarch slurry to work, you need to have it at a full boil, otherwise it doesn't really work.
There is a spoon.
That's, yeah, one heaping tablespoon of cornstarch and 2 tablespoons, 3 tablespoons of water, something like that. So you have a consistency like cream, something like that.
Easy trick.
Yeah, you could use rice flour also. Actually, the difference is cornstarch will give you a little bit of a cloud in your sauce. If you use, if you use rice flour, it will be totally clear. So that's up to you. Or you could be a little bit more advanced and use xanthan gum, but I also have that. We could do that, but let's stick with this. So now we are coming to a boil here, so I'm going to add, let's say, half of my cornstarch, and then we see how thick it's going to get. Sauce is nice and thick. I just switched it off so we don't have all the steam here, so you can see what's going on. And you can see when you have the right consistency. Take a spoon, coat the backside of your spoon like this, and then when you see that you can make a trail like this and it doesn't run down. That's very nice. And our chicken is also done in the oven, so let me get that out.
I hope you make it nice and crispy.
This is totally nice and brown and crispy.
Yeah.
Okay, a little too dark there, but these are looking perfectly beautiful. We're ready to plate up, so see you at the taste test. Well, if that's not a pretty plate we have here. Nice sauce over top, sesame seeds for decoration, a bit of green onion, some boiled rice. I mean, I don't have to show you how to boil rice. I'm sure you can figure that out. But now I want to try the chicken here. It's so tender. It's fantastic. And the sauce, it smells good. I hope it tastes as good as it smells. Let me give it a try.
Let's see also if it maintained juicy on the inside, because we didn't brine them or anything.
This is fantastically juicy, crazy juicy. That leaving it in the braising liquid for half an hour, that is a magic trick when you're braising things like this. So juicy, the sauce is perfect, has a very small hint of heat in the background, not too much with the habanero.
Good.
Excellent dish, and this is truly comfort food. Well, the Hawaiians, they know apparently, so give this a shot.